All right, let's do it.
We're live.
Yeah, if I stand completely still, will people think their video is frozen? Hey, welcome, Brandywine Students Live. It is March 30th, 2020. I wonder why I just almost stumbled on the word 2000. That was weird. 2020. We are ready to have some fun today. We got Melissa, Elijah, and I are all here. We have some plans. I'm going to do a devotional. We're going to do another incredible cooking lesson from our master chef, Elijah. Cooking with Elijah. You guys should be sending in suggestions for what you want him to cook because, he has an amazing repertoire to draw on, but we want to help you guys out. So if you have needs, make sure you're telling us. If you have ideas for stuff we should do on the live show, let us know. We've got some candy to give away. I think we're down to 5 boxes. I'm going to have to go to the store, aren't I? We also have the Elijah stickers, but even better, today we're doing a twofer because we've got the Elijah sticker, but in case you forgot, we stumbled across a stash of Zach sign stickers. So today we're doing a twofer, our intern special, if you will. What do you guys think? Which sticker is better? Is it Elijah? That's the vote on it. I'm going to put that on the stories too. We're going to have a vote to see which sticker is better. No, it's okay, Elijah. You're going to win.
Steven says he wants that.
One of us is going to be very prideful. One of us is going to be very sad.
I'm okay with Zach being sad. Yeah, Elijah is like, so introduction to ministry with McNutt is just be mean to people. Especially if they're down in Virginia and can't do anything. Hey, all right. So, how many people we got on? We got a few people dialing in.
We've got some people dialing in. I think that some people aren't used to us being so prompt.
I know. We're on time today. No technical difficulties. YouTube is working. Is Steven there?
Steven's there.
What a shocking development.
Ben
Cura.
Teddy Trevor. Danny Bosma.
All right. Well, let me.
Oh, Poco No is here.
Yeah, that's my kid. That's Noah. It's the little no as opposed to Noah Freakin, who is
the big no.
Big no.
Want cookies next week?
Oh my goodness.
Let's do it.
Did somebody say cookies?
Cookies next week. Cooking with Elijah. Cookies.
How are you going to cook cookies in here?
I got ideas.
We'll figure it out.
It's terrifying. All right. Hey, so I want to share a passage with you guys that I've been thinking about. In Matthew chapter 18, there's this really fascinating exchange between Jesus and Peter. And I love Peter because he was always kind of the first one to speak up and say things. And it says in verse 21, then Peter approached him, Jesus, and asked, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me? As many as 7 times? And I love, part of me, I used to always read that and think, wow, this is ridiculous. Like, why is he tossing that out? 7's the holy number. That's so weird. But here's the deal. Peter actually thinks he's being incredibly generous because back then, 2,000 years ago, during their time, they actually had it spelled out how many times you were required to forgive someone that kept doing something to you. We don't really have that so much. Well, our culture is kind of like somebody does it once, they're canceled. But back then, you were required to forgive somebody 3 times. 3 times you had to forgive someone if you were a good, religious, devout Jew. But if they did it a 4th time, you didn't have to anymore. Now, already the fact that Peter is asking this question, even though the culture spells out 3 times, means he knows the answer is something else, that Jesus stands for something different, that whatever it is Jesus is going to say, what everyone has always thought was the case, was the socially acceptable amount to forgive people, was enough. Peter already knew Jesus was going to say something different. So when he tossed out the number 7, when he says, as many as 7 times, already in his mind, he's more than doubling the requirement. Right? For anyone standing there hearing this, the reaction isn't going to be, oh, Peter, 7 times. The reaction is, whoa, that's more than double. Right? You only have to forgive people 3 times. This 7 times, that's crazy. That's so many times. And Jesus says, I tell you, not as many as 7, Jesus replied, but 70 times 7. And Jesus' point was not to do the math on 7 times 70, 420. See, I can do math. That wasn't his point, and because all of us have like a younger brother or an older sister or somebody who may have actually hit 420 just since the quarantine started, right? Jesus's point was using a ridiculous number to just go, look, no. You just always forgive people. The point is to forgive. And I was thinking about this passage because I don't know about you guys, but like I'm starting to feel a little cooped up and crazy at times. And I'm kind of trapped in this house. There's 6 of us there and a bunch of guinea pigs. It's really easy to start getting impatient, especially when there's so many things we can't do anything about. We tend to get irritable with the ones that are closest to us, right? And I was thinking about this passage going, geez. Like I need to be showing forgiveness and grace at home all the time. That I shouldn't be going like, they've already done that. I've told them 7 times not to do this, and they did it again. Now, people need to be doing what their parents say. But at the same time, I need to be showing patience and love and forgiveness and grace as well. And so I don't know about you, but for me, this passage is a powerful reminder of, especially with what we're all kind of going through right now, how can I be showing this kind of Christ-like forgiveness and love and patience and endurance when there's so much that might be getting under my skin or frustrating me or changing my routine or throwing things off? How can I show that? So be thinking about that. If you have thoughts, comments on how you show patience, throw it in the chat, send us a message, let us know. We'd love to know how you can display this kind of Christ-like forgiveness. I'm going to pray, and then we're going to shift gears into some other activities for this show. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for the example of Jesus. We thank you for Peter, for asking this question that nobody else had the guts to ask, but that we all needed to hear. And God, we ask that we would be like Jesus, that we would demonstrate your forgiveness over and over and over to the people around us, that you would help us and support us during this time as we're feeling kind of thrown off and out of our routine, and there's still a bunch of weeks to go. God, help us to give you honor in every area of our life, including how we forgive and respond to others. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right. Who's ready for some cooking with Elijah? Anybody?
Yes.
Anybody? What do you guys think he's going to do today? He gets ready to pull this over.
Welcome to Elijah's Cooking Corner. Oh yeah. I think I do a different song every single time.
I know, it's okay though. Creativity.
Yeah. Just make it up as I go. Okay. Does anyone want to assist me on this?
If you want to pull it back a little bit, yeah.
I'll take an assistant.
I don't do this beverage, so.
Okay, so howdy, folks.
Melissa, come around the other side.
Welcome to Cooking with Elijah again.
Oh my gosh, that is so many emojis.
We are cooking a beverage known as coffee. Now,
Ooh, I like coffee.
Yes, coffee is a very, very polarizing drink because everyone likes it differently. So before we get started, I'm going to show you how to do one specific method the way I prefer to do it. So therefore, please withhold the rude comments if you don't like it. So with that being said, we're going to start with coffee. So the best way to do coffee, the first thing we're going to do is I'm actually going to pour.
There's a lot of critiques already.
Great.
You don't cook coffee?
You do though.
How is it cooking?
You do cook it
from Daniel Bosma?
You got to heat up you can't make coffee unless you heat up the water. Well, I guess you can make cold brew, but that takes a couple of hours.
I
Katie
did
is on your
choose
team.
Thank you, Katie.
I did choose
Rational
this
thinker.
specific mug. Support your local youth pastor. So support us right now.
So first thing you want to do is you want to heat up the water. So it is cooking because I'm heating water. Okay.
Daniel Bosma put today on Brewing with Elijah.
That's good. That's good. So with that being said, I mean, this actually requires more work than ramen, but you would consider that cooking, wouldn't you? Okay. Anyway, so first things first, what you want to do is get your water heated up, which is what I'm doing here. You also want to do ratios. So when you do ratios, you want to do weight, because weight is going to be consistent no matter what type of coffee you use, because different coffees from different areas have different size beans, right? So Ethiopian beans are smaller, Guatemalan beans are usually a little bit bigger. And so if you just did it based on like a scoop before you grind it, it might be different. So you got to weigh it first. So I have my scale here and I'll turn it on.
So that's a lot of math before you've ever had your morning coffee.
If you just do it simple, 14-to-1 ratio, I do 25 grams of coffee to 350 grams of water.
Okay.
So
Heidi wants to know if you deliver.
If I deliver, I can.
Actually, Heidi delivers. I was on the receiving end of a Heidi freaking coffee delivery this weekend, and I was greatly appreciative. So
I always buy whole bean, because if you buy ground coffee, if you grind it within the first 30 minutes of it being ground, you will lose 70% of flavor. I mean, that's 100% a fact. Also use a burr grinder. And if you're like, what is a burr grinder? So this is a burr grinder. So basically the coffee starts here. When you grind it, it goes through down here. So it grinds it evenly. Whereas a blade grinder, if it just sits on top of the blade, it won't grind it evenly. So I can finish that off for me.
sure.
So that's your burr grinder.
I'm working for my coffee right now.
You don't have to do all of it. I can do it. Still waiting the water to heat up here. So I personally prefer light to medium roast. Some people like dark roast. It just kind of depends on what you like.
Controversial question.
What's that?
2 of these students have asked why you don't just go through the drive-thru at Starbucks.
Oh,
I knew this would push your button.
I can
I'm working hard, dude.
because Starbucks burns their coffee and it tastes like garbage. Okay? If the beans are shiny, that means the beans are burnt. All of Starbucks beans are shiny. So,
Danny Bosma says he's learning a lot right now.
that's right. So I'll
A
show
lot
you
of math with coffee,
these
right?
beans. See how they're not shiny? That means they're good. So
This is a roast I've worked for coffee.
I do a 14-to-1 ratio just because that's what I prefer. Some people do say 15-to-1, 16-to-1, 17-to-1. If you're like, what does that mean? It just means however many grams of coffee you use, you multiply that number by whatever. So if I do 14-to-1, means I multiply 25 grams times 14, means I get 350 grams. And that's what I have the scale for. So it's the same thing every single time. Now, another cool thing is you can make iced coffee this way, but you would put ice in the bottom, okay, and you would just subtract that from your total. So if I did 100 grams of ice, I would do 250 grams of water on top, because that the ice down there is going to dilute it a little bit. So it's very, very scientific. And this is actually one of the more simpler ways of making coffee for me. I have a couple other ways that are a little more complicated.
How many ways do you have at your house? How you can make coffee?
4.
4 ways.
4 ways.
Elijah
2
has.
for hot, 2 for iced.
Okay.
So, although this one technically can also be for iced, so I have 2 cold brew makers. One takes about 4 hours to make the cold brew. The other is overnight, so about 12 hours. And then I have a coffee siphon, which I would have brought, but I didn't have any filters because they take cloth filters. So.
Is that the one you bought at Renew?
No, that's another pour over. So I technically have a 5th way.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's right. Propaganda was
But it's the same method as this. It's just portable. Although this one's kind of portable too, but you can't fold it down. So also, you don't need to have a clear carafe at the bottom. I do the clear so you can see what's happening. You could just do it directly into your cup. This water's taking a long time to heat, and I'm running out of things to say.
I was laughing when Elijah was interviewing here. I think he wouldn't have taken the job if we didn't take him to a coffee place that met his satisfaction.
Yes, that is correct.
So
I made the mistake
brouhaha.
of telling him there was a Starbucks next to the church.
Yeah, whenever we interviewed, I said, "What do you have?" He said, "Starbucks." I was like, "No, like local." And he's like, "We have brouhaha." And at that point, I'd already researched the area and I'd already seen it, so I already heard about it. So
And I made sure you had a cup.
it was good. It was good. So, because there was a job that I was interviewing for in the middle of nowhere, Texas. They had one coffee shop in the town, and they took me there, and it was horrible. And I was like, "This is going to be really tough to live here if this is where I end up going."
Katie is flipping out at the mention of brouhaha.
Oh, thank you.
There's a bunch of people wondering, how long does this take?
Well, mainly you're just waiting on the water at this point. So normally I just stare to see it's done. So normally I just take hot water from the sink and then put it in there, and then it'll brew a lot quicker. So the main thing you're waiting on, the main thing is the water and the grinding. So you can get an electric burr grinder, but those cost somewhere around $200. This hand burr grinder costs me about $35. So what you want to do is you want to take your filter.
How much coffee do you drink in a day?
Just 1 cup.
Seriously?
Just 1 cup a day.
So have you already had your cup
I
for
would have
today?
assumed
Yeah.
it was.
Wait, so who gets this cup?
You do.
Oh, I do. I'm so lucky.
Okay, so you put your filter in, and you're like, "What are you doing, Elijah? Will you grab the trash can?"
Yeah.
So what you want to do is you want to wet the filter first, and you're like, "Elijah, why are you doing that?" Because when you wet the filter, you get this paper flavor, and if you do it first, then you don't get it. So
Trevor just wrote, imagine Elijah buying a house. He won't be able to move to a beautiful house if a Starbucks is next to it.
first of all, who puts a Starbucks next to a house?
And Danny Bosma says, now children, you have to pray over the water to make it taste like holy coffee.
That is true. Very good. Okay, so then what you do is you put the coffee beans in, or the ground coffee, I should say, not the beans.
Do you hand grind it every day?
Every day. Every morning.
Wow. Man, you're as much of a nerd for coffee as I am for Star
So
Trek.
then I zero out my scale, and then I just do 350 grams of water. So what you want to do is you want to do the first one, which is the bloom pour. Which a bloom pour means you just do about 50-ish grams or so of water to get those grounds wet. And then it'll start to bubble up and look like a muffin top.
Is this a life lesson or a recipe? Danny Bosma's bringing the comments.
That's right. That's right. So you'll kind of let that settle and let it bubble. It releases all the gases. And you're like, what gases? I don't get it. I don't either. I'm just doing what I've been told.
No, coffee beans, they have, after you roast them, they put out gas. So you actually have to let them sit for a little bit before you package them. Otherwise, the packages balloon up.
I worked at a coffee roaster for a bit, and I accidentally did that.
Looks like a balloon.
The bag was ready to explode. Okay, so then I did about 55. So you want to do about half to a little over half for the first bloom pour. So I did 25 grams of beans. So I did 55 grams for my pour. Then you just want to pour a little more and just kind of go around in circles.
Hadley wants to know if you use creamer.
I do not. I do not add anything to my coffee. Some people do, and that's okay, but I do not. So I do about, and so this is called a gooseneck kettle. You can see the net. So it can really control how much water goes through. So it's pretty neat. Makes it a lot easier. I know.
Wow. My son thinks this is too long.
Well, he can deal with it.
Which no.
Yeah.
What else are you
He's
doing
being a
right
little
now?
punk.
Yeah, what else?
What else are you doing right
This is
now?
a life-
Tell us.
This is a life
During
lesson.
your quarantine,
Okay.
hanging out with your brothers.
Trevor said this is actually longer than my school day. Yeah, there's a lot of critics. Yeah.
They're just waiting to call in because they want stickers and candy.
We're going to make you wait just a little longer. So then another thing I like to do is I like to pour a little bit of hot water into the bottom of my mug. And you're like, Elijah, what are you doing that for? it heats it up so that the temperature of the mug doesn't affect the temperature of the coffee. So yeah, and then you'll just kind of pour some more over it. And make sure you run around the edges, get it off the wall a little bit.
I like this class. Last week I got a pancake. Today I'm getting coffee. We're gonna make cookies one day.
And so at this point, since I know I've already poured 350 grams, I just turned my scale off to conserve my battery, which doesn't really matter, but you're welcome.
Where would he be right now without Melissa? Is what Macy is wondering.
Without a mug and without someone to drink his coffee because
Right.
he only drinks 1 cup a day.
Do you
I'm a
get
mom. I drink
over-caffeinated if you
multi
have?
cups a day.
I just only need one, and I don't want to be one of those people who gets headaches from a lack of coffee.
I get headaches from a lack of Diet Pepsi.
So, or lack of caffeine, I guess, is really the problem. But
Mm.
I really don't. I don't. So I think I burned the table here. Should have thought about that one before I did it. So
Those people don't watch this.
at this point, you're just
He actually measures his coffee.
so at this point you're just letting gravity kind of do its thing. It's going a little slow. That's okay. You just wait.
Somebody should ask Katie
Should do the
sometime who makes
percolator.
her coffee every day.
How does Katie make it?
Katie doesn't make her coffee every day.
Mm.
Seth makes cold brew,
Wait.
and Katie comes to my house every day and picks it up.
Wait, Katie has her own husband, but she has to have your husband make the coffee for her?
Her husband also leaves the house at like 4 a.m. every day.
I just jump at chances to.
We have a cold brew maker at the Stein household, and Katie has fallen in love with the cold brew coffee, and so Seth makes it for me, but it gets drank, 2 or 3 times as fast because of Katie. Yep.
Sadly says one of her teachers drinks Coke instead of coffee and has around 3 cans a day.
So much sugar.
Oh, Katie is defending Ryan. Yes, my husband does.
And that's it.
Mm.
You cook bacon, but bake cookies, according to Macy.
Mm.
So what do you think, Melissa? How would you rank this coffee?
Very tasty.
Is it better than, I don't even know what to
Starbucks?
compare it
Yes.
to.
Yes.
Yeah. Very flavorful. Good job,
Thank you.
Elijah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing with me.
This has been Elijah's Cooking Corner.
Now I'm going to read the comments
Wow.
while I drink my coffee.
They're not all encouraging.
I figured.
All right. So I have a game for us to play I'm very excited about. There we go. So far, 2020 has not been the best. So I was thinking back to a simpler time, a time known as 2019. I have a little bit of a trivia game here. Melissa, I'll put it over there so you can be tracking along too. Basically,
Thank
there's some
goodness.
trivia questions and there's multiple answers. The first person that writes the correct answer in the chat gets the point. Now, I need to explain something to you guys. Here's how chat works on the internet, because a bunch of you have been blowing up our phones with pictures of my name was first. But here's the deal. You can actually go on YouTube and rewatch the last one, the Instagram Live. I posted the video of it, and you can see the chat in that if you're really bored. But basically, when you type in a word onto your chat screen, it immediately shows up on your screen. That does not mean that's when it's showing up on everyone else's screen. YouTube just does that to keep it simple for you. It'd be confusing if you type something, sent it, and it didn't appear for a moment. We get them in the order that YouTube gets them, as the YouTube live sender or whatever. So, whatever Melissa says, is the law. And if you send us text messages with screenshots, we will void your points. We don't care. It's just candy and stickers anyways. And probably we would give you the sticker if we saw you in person and you asked in a few weeks, but whatever. So everybody understand? That's how it works. It's a little weird, but for real, even when I was rewatching, was like, oh, yeah, nope, that person was first. That person was first. That person was first. It just happens. All right, so let's play. The year was 2019. Do you guys even remember that year? That was so long ago. Right? This is going to be challenging. This is going to be challenging for people. So, for example, here's our first question. Although the Raid Area 51 event was a bust, how many people RSVP'd for the Facebook event? How many people said they were going to go to Area 51? Was it 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, or 4 million? You can only put one guess.
Rebecca Anderson, B,
Rebecca
2 million.
already got the answer. Rebecca, 2 million people said they were going to go. I loved all the media showing up on that day, hoping for 2 million idiots to show up. And it was like 50 people. But one person did the thing.
Did Naruto run?
Yes. There was a media person doing it, and somebody did it behind them. It was amazing. All right. So Rebecca has a point.
Rebecca's a point, and she's beating both of her brothers. Those brothers are on. Go, Becca.
Woo! Anderson boys are going down. No candy for Steven this week. How long was Spider-Man booted out of Marvel? Was it for 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, or 2 months? Remember last year when Disney and Sony were like, we're breaking up, no more Spider-Man, the MCU. And then Tom Holland, I heard he called up the different, he was like crying, saying, no, we got to work this out. And then he got back. How long was he out? 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months?
Oh, see, Rebecca Anderson already got it again.
Rebecca already got it. So we're going to send her a couple stickers, the Zach sticker, the Elijah sticker. It's going to be amazing. The first 2 questions. Now I'm kind of curious if she could just beat everyone on all of the 2019 questions. She seems to be a real expert. It's like it's fresh on her mind. Number 3, what country was supposedly spying on the USA through Face App? What is Face App? Russia, China, Japan, or Iran?
The one where you make yourself look old.
Oh,
Yeah.
Face App.
Danny Bosma's
I
got
did
it.
not do that one.
With
Danny Bosma, Russia. The accusation was Russia was. If you did look in the thing, it was like using all the. It was
like Red Dawn.
It was sketchy. It was sketchy. It was sketchy. And then everybody found out about that, but everyone was like, "No, it's worth it. I want to see what I look like old." I was like, I don't need to do that. I'm seeing it every morning in the mirror. Wait, so who was that? Who got that point?
Danny.
Danny Bosma has a point. So Rebecca's already won. Now we got Danny Bosma. What was the most played game in 2019? Was it Minecraft, Fortnite, Grand Theft Auto, or Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? Minecraft, Fortnite, Grand Theft Auto, or Super Smash Bros. What was the most played game in 2019?
Victoria's got it with Minecraft.
Was it Minecraft?
It was.
I feel like in my house it would be between Minecraft and Fortnite, and then Apex started creeping in towards the end there. But lately it's been a lot of Minecraft. Man, could you imagine how this quarantine would be going if people couldn't play Minecraft?
I don't play Minecraft, so it's going fine.
It's going slow.
How are you functioning when you can't build a made-up world? All right. Wait, so who got that? Victoria?
Victoria, cool.
So, oh my goodness, I already forgot who the other person
Danny
was.
Bosma.
Danny Bosma and Victoria each have a point. I'm like a goldfish. I have a 3-second memory. Right? Yeah. Which of the following is not an essential Visco Girl accessory? Which one is not an essential Visco Girl accessory? Hydro Flask, Burt's Bees lip balm, French tip nails, or a seashell necklace? Which of these is not an essential Visco Girl accessory?
Teddy's got it.
Teddy got it.
French tip nails.
Yes, you do not need French tip nails.
But I've been using Burt's Bees for like 15 years.
Yeah, but you don't have a Hydro Flask, so you're okay. You're not a Visco. You are not a Visco.
But what
girl.
if what if I
Elijah
had,
is a lot closer to being a Visco girl than you are.
just because of my hydroflex that I've had for almost 4 years
I don't
now?
know. Let's take a vote. How many people think Elijah is a Visco girl? Anybody think that? Wait, so who got that point? Kenny got the
Kenny
point?
got it.
So it's Kenny, Victoria, and Danny. Each have a point.
Rebecca won, Heidi.
Yeah, Rebecca already won. Heidi needs to chill out. Okay, I already gave a big speech about Melissa's keeping the points. I'm really brave when I'm not in the same building. All right, next question. Do people think he's a Visco girl, or is that so 2019 we don't do that anymore?
He is.
Okay.
Kenny says yes, he is. Yes.
Elijah's looking really puzzled. He's like, I have
Oh,
a
but
full
Steven
beard.
Anderson says Visco girls are so last year, but yes, it's a game about 2019.
Yeah, dude, get with
Yeah,
it.
the year that was. Back when we could be in person. What fast food chain had the longest drive-through times in 2019? So who was the slowest? Was it Popeyes, Taco Bell, Wendy's, or Chick-fil-A? Popeyes, Taco Bell, Wendy's, or Chick-fil-A?
Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you.
I saw
Rebecca says.
Victoria gets it.
Okay.
Victoria got it.
Yes.
Chick-fil-A.
Rebecca said I checked the boxes before for a Visco girl, but I did it before it was trendy. That's right. That's right. Thank you. Thank you.
You know, I saw one meme that said everything was going fine with the world until Popeyes tried to mess with God's chicken and started doing chicken sandwiches. And now look at where we are.
You know, in Austin where I lived,
Yeah.
the Chick-fil-A near my house was served the most people through the drive-through because they actually had 2 lanes. And they would use a conveyor belt
I
system.
always get so nervous about the double lane drive-throughs.
But see, this one you stayed in 2 lanes because they had a conveyor system that would take the food to the second building.
That's like magic. You should be over here gesturing so people see that.
So there was 2 buildings, right? And you would drive, and then one you would drive to, and they had a conveyor system that would take the bag of food over.
That was the most energetic.
And then so it was like boom, you had 2 lanes going through.
Was it a clear conveyor belt? Could other people see your food making the trek over?
No. But you would
That's
you
so
look and you see it come down. So it's pretty cool. So that was they have the most people go through their drive-through in the United States.
Wow.
So yeah.
Well, Chick-fil-A has the slowest time. All right. So so we have 2 people that have won, Rebecca and Victoria. And then meanwhile, we have Danny Bosma and who else with a
Kenny
point?
with 1.
And Ketty with a point. Wow, the girls are dominating today.
That's
I'll
right.
tell you what. Which of the following was not a popular saying in 2019? I can't pronounce any of these. And I oop, yeet, save the turtles, peace out. Which one was not a popular saying
Hadley.
in 2019? And I oop, yeet, save the turtles,
Hadley.
peace out.
Hadley
Hadley got it?
Yep.
Peace out.
That's my favorite
We should bring
saying.
that back.
Peace out, Rainbow
My
Trout.
favorite.
Peace out, Rainbow
Or
Trout.
Girl Scout.
Heather was a Girl Scout back in the day.
Good job, Hadley.
Yeah. So, which is why, supposedly, it's why we're required to buy Girl Scout cookies whenever people are selling them, because Heather was a Girl Scout. But I think it's really just because she wants cookies. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm suspicious. All right. So Hadley has a point.
I want to tell that to my kids.
You know what? What
Your dad
song
was a Girl Scout.
released in 2019 had the most weeks on the Hot 100? What song released in 2019 had the most weeks on the Hot 100? Bad Guy Circles, Old Town Road, Truth Hurts. Isn't that Old Town Road the one where people are dancing?
Rebecca got it.
Rebecca's not even playing.
No, you're thinking Copperhead Road. Copperhead Road.
Trevor got second place.
Which was Old Town Road. So Trevor.
Mhm.
All right. So we'll give Trevor a point because Rebecca.
Rocks.
All right.
She rocks.
She rocks. She understands me.
Elijah's team Rebecca from now on. All right. Scenario. Someone is not responding to your messages.
Oh, yep.
What are they doing? Are they being totes casual, friend zoning, zombie walking, or ghosting you? If someone is not responding to your messages, are they being totes casual, friend zoning, zombie walking,
Hadley.
or ghosting you?
Hadley got it. That's her
Which one is
second
it?
win.
Ghosting you.
That's also a term for.
I want to do the zombie walking.
That's also a term for when people are dating, and a
Yep.
guy asks a girl out, and she's like, "Yeah, sure," and then he's like, "When would you like to go out?" And then she never responds. That's ghosting. Also, the other way around. The other way it can happen. A guy can ask a girl out. A girl says yes, and then she says, "When would you like to go?" And he doesn't respond. It happens both ways.
Were you recently ghosted, Elijah?
No.
This seems like a sensitive.
I just know people who have been.
You just feel the need for people to understand. It's a very hurtful thing.
I do know people who have been.
Hypothetically.
I know people who have been. And I don't ghost people. If I'm like, I don't want to go out with you, I say so. It's hurtful, but at least they're not left wondering.
See, back in the day when I was like dating, we didn't have cell phones and stuff, so you couldn't ghost people. There was no chatting or messaging. You just had to like physically in person.
Why would he send me a smoke signal?
Not that old. Stupid millennial. Just hurtful. What is a Naruto run? Oh my gosh, I already said it. Running with your back arched and head back, your arms back and leaning forward, your eyes closed. Everyone go run with your eyes closed. That'll be amazing. Your arms pumping like ice skating. Whatever. So what is a Naruto run? Your back arch and head back, your arms back leaning forward, your eyes closed.
Poco
your arms pointing.
Poco no.
Poco Noah. My son got the point. There was one year on the main trip, Noah Freakin and I, where we were driving the cargo van, and we went to pass one of the other passenger vans with everybody in it, and we decided to make it look like we were both running. So as we passed by, we were just like straight face, looking forward, pumping our arms. They were super confused, but we thought it was hilarious. All right, so Noah got it right. Your arms back, leaning forward, as Elijah effectively demonstrated. And I already gave away earlier.
Right.
That was
because you said it, and then I said what it was called.
Yeah, I probably should have read these more thoroughly ahead of time, so I wouldn't just be giving away answers. That was the last one. So we're done. So
sorry, guys.
Who still had points? Who still had points?
Noah, Trevor, Keddy, and Danny.
All right, so we got 4 people with points. All right, so we will mail them 1 sticker each, and they have to say if they want an Elijah sticker or a Zach sign.
They're going to say Zach because he's gone.
Well, I know my son will say that because he already has one of the Elijah stickers. But all right, so they can bounce in those. Let me see. Do we want to try and how are we doing for time? Should we try and let somebody FaceTime in and give us a little check-in, see how they're doing, see how they're surviving in the Corona zone? I'm trying to start that. I don't know why I'm trying to start that. I probably shouldn't. Did this work?
Trevor, we mentioned you. We mentioned your 1 point.
That's not what I want. Screen mirroring.
Hadley already won. You get 2 stickers. You get both.
Yeah, she needs to chill out. All right. Does anybody want to try calling in real quick? 302-753-8540. 408-540. We can FaceTime for a moment, see how you're doing, see how you're surviving. Oh, gosh. It's my son. Do I answer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Wait, he can see me.
He hung up. Why?
Hi, Michael.
Wait, you answered on. You're not supposed to answer on that. Hang up. He needs to.
Call again.
Melissa answered on the iPad. It was supposed to be on my phone. My phone's the one tethered to the TV.
He just looks so nice.
You just can't get quality.
Hey, dude. No, stop.
There we go. All right, what's going on, Micah? Do you have anything to tell us, or you just wanted to? Oh, there's some baby guinea pigs. They're a lot cuter than Micah. Don't call while we're on a call.
Micah, do you have anything to say?
He's just saying yeet over him.
Yeah.
I don't know why you think you should get a new job, 1, and 2.
How do I turn this volume up?
I miss you a lot.
Aw.
You can't diss me and then say you missed
Give him
me.
a sticker.
You can't-
Bring one home.
You
to
can't
him.
diss and miss.
Sour and sweet. It's sour and sweet.
You can't diss and miss.
Is
It's
that
sour and sweet.
We
is
don't.
that the technical
I
term?
just made it up.
Oh man. All right. Well, it was a delight talking to you, Micah. Maybe
Yeet.
Bye, Micah.
that kid needs a hobby. Anybody else want to check in with us? How you doing? How you surviving?
Tell us what healthy wage is. Back to Netflix.
Why does it keep doing that? There we go. Now we got some dead time going on here.
Cool. It's neat.
Maybe I should.
There it is.
Wait, here we go.
Who dis?
It's a Trevor. It's always
Yeah,
Trevor.
it's
Trevor's.
In a shocking turn of events.
Do you have a mic, bro?
What's going on? What was that? Whoa! Not an emergency SOS. Not an emergency SOS.
Jeez.
What did I just do? I don't know what I just did.
Hey, dude.
I'm as confused as you are as to what just happened. So what's going on? You surviving? He's not talking to me.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you. I'm holding the phone up to the mic so that other people can hear you.
What?
I'm holding my phone to the mic so other
Trevor,
people can
leave
hear
us
you.
with a word.
What are you doing with your time?
I don't know what's happening right now.
Trevor, do you speak English?
Almost saying
What?
No.
Sam.
Hang up.
All right. We will talk to you another time.
I'm
Oh,
sure.
wait,
I'm
somebody
sure
else
you
is
will.
calling me now. Who is this?
What are you doing with your time? What's
Oh,
up?
Danny.
Oh, we got a Bosma.
Yo,
What's going on, man? How's it going?
good.
You
Oh yeah, this is the. Hold on. I meant to call. We're doing the Brandywine chat thing, and I meant to call their number because I had a random number in my FaceTime.
you meant to call somebody
There it
else?
is. There it is.
It's the last.
Hey, so what's going on, man? So whoop, I got it. You just showed me.
Brandywine chat thing.
Hey, so have your
This is so
chickens
cool.
hatched yet? Have your chickens hatched yet?
What did you say?
You guys are doing the incubator project, right? Have your chickens hatched?
Yeah, we're doing it.
Ah, there it is. There it is. So you're still waiting for them.
Are you going to name one of them Sheldon? Get it?
What'd you say?
Because Shell.
Oh my gosh.
When can I hatch? Probably like or the next day.
That's
I
cool.
think I'm gonna put my GoPro like right in there. We're gonna get like a good angle on it.
That'd be sweet.
That's a cool idea. We did that one year. It's kind of fun because you film it and then you can do like a speed up the video to get the
Time lapse.
yeah, time lapse.
That's pretty cool.
That's the word. Elijah had it, not me. The
Trevor, stop calling.
Oh, yes.
Steven hung up. He heard Elijah shoot down Trevor.
Well,
Yeah.
Trevor.
So Steven's telling everyone to FaceTime in. Thanks, Steven.
No, Steven.
They just chimed in the show.
Can I
Oh yeah, this is
Double-
Sammy.
what's
What's
going
up,
on, man?
What's up, dude?
All right, Steven, give us a call. What's going on? My favorite part is the part where we stand here waiting for somebody to call. Here we
I don't
go.
know what to do with my hands.
What's up, Steven?
Nothing much.
Your sister is superior.
She kind of wrecked you. She kind of wrecked you.
YouTube thing. I thought I won a couple times because it said I had it first.
No, you didn't. We talked about that.
We talked about this,
I
dude.
know. That's why it's YouTube's fault.
No, you
I'm pretty sure it's your fault.
She
You
just
were
types faster.
slow. Rebecca dominated you. She was born first. She commented first. She won first. So there you go.
But Steven's always the first one in every
Yeah,
time.
I'm the first one in, so.
Now, all you
Doesn't matter.
Melissa's chiming in. That's not whatever.
You could be the first one to show up to a cross country race, but if you don't get first, you don't get first. Doesn't matter if you got there first. Doesn't matter.
Steven's like, why did I call him to be verbally assaulted?
He's been keyboard assaulting me.
Verbally assaulted by two grown men.
You're making coffee and calling it cooking.
Oh.
There was more steps to that than cooking ramen, and that's considered cooking.
It took like a year.
Oh man! All right, Steven. So what are you? What are
You need
you
a better
doing to
attention
keep?
span.
What are you doing to keep yourself busy?
Going outside a lot. Doing homework.
Making any cool videos?
Watching YouTube. Making some videos. Yeah.
Nice.
It's cool.
All right, cool. I think we're gonna hang up because now that we're not making fun of you anymore.
Yeah.
Bye, Steven.
Thanks.
I have something to say.
What?
Elijah can't cook.
Oh, that was hurtful.
Rebecca is the best. Rebecca is the best Anderson child of offspring of Rochelle and Steve.
Apparently so. All right. Well, I think we're gonna call it there. We've been on here for like 45 minutes. Man.
Yeah,
That's a lot of
it's
us.
a long time. Yeah.
That's a lot of us. All right. Thank you for dialing in. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for commenting. We're gonna get those in the mail. See you Wednesday night. Small groups Wednesday night, and then Brandywine Students Live on Thursday. Bye-bye.
See you Thursday.
Bye. Bye-bye. Bye. See you later.